Hey everybody, welcome to this 2020 Hyundai Palisade brought to us by First International Auto Group out of Merrimack, New Hampshire. This specific example has 83,000 miles on it. It's a limited trim priced at $23,500. Original MSRP runs you at about $45,000 US in 2020. This limited trim is absolutely loaded. We have heated and cooled front seats, heated and cooled middle row seats. Of course, this is a 3-row car. Memory seats up here in the front, Harman Kardon speakers, Apple CarPlay, and just, of course, this gorgeous panoramic sunroof. We're just gonna go ahead and get in these back seats and check those out. All right, so in this middle room, we have just an impressive amount of room sitting behind myself. I'm 5'9". Of course, like I said before, cooled functions, heated functions for the seat as well, and second row climate control. We have a 12 volt. We also have a traditional 115 volt wall outlet plug, so that's really nice to have in here. You know, you can bring your whole charger cube for your phone and use that with no problem. This middle row is, of course, captain's chairs, and we do have a glass panel that sits above us. It's fixed, unlike the front, which can open. And one thing I noticed while exploring this Palisade today is we have USBs on either side of the front seat. So that's really crazy to be able to plug in right here. I think that's very unique. I don't think I've ever seen that before in a car. And last but not least, in this second row, privacy shades to block the haters out. All right, now let's get into this third row. Now there is some adjustment to these front seats. Like, you can kind of tether them forward, lock them in place, so you get a little more room. Of course, you're then compromising for that second row. I guess if you're sitting in the back, you should get a little more room, especially if you plan on putting adults back here. But I could confidently say you could have 6 adults in this car and then 1 kid. And then really you'd have plenty of room. I mean, this Palisade is just very spacious and quite a nice interior for the money as well. Back here we do have adjustments for our third row seats as well, which is pretty nice to have. USBs there, cup holders on either side. And then, of course, with this seat, you can just press this button to get out, which is really nice. Push it forward. You can open your door like this and then just kind of hop out. So getting out and in of this third row is just super easy. And then as far as trunk and cargo space, we do have a little bit. It is kind of compromised if you plan on using that third row full time, but we have full access to, move the seats forward and back for the second and third row. So you can, just kind of put that forward or back. And as you can see, even the headrest folds down. And boom, that's great. You don't even have to go around and adjust the seat. You can do it right from the back, which is really nice. So powering this Palisade is a 3.8 liter naturally aspirated V6, making 291 horsepower, 262 pound-feet of torque. And that's, of course, paired to an 8-speed automatic. There are 2 drivetrain options for these Palisades. You can either get it in front-wheel drive, which comes standard, and then, of course, the H-Track all-wheel drive system that we have here today. I'll tell you, if you live in New England, you're definitely going to want the all-wheel drive. We've just gotten so much snow this year. This past weekend, we had 20 inches come in, and then another 3 inches the night after. So it's just crazy. I mean, there's just snow everywhere, as you can see. And right now, it's 13 degrees. I can't remember the last time we were over 20 degrees Fahrenheit. That's why none of this has melted. Luckily, salt exists, so we can still get around. And, they do a really great job at treating the roads up here. So, we don't really have to worry. Basically, day of storm, you can't do much. Day after storm, it's business as usual, which is great. In this Palisade, we have plenty of safety options such as blind spot monitoring, lane keep assist, adaptive cruise control, which is more of a convenience option, but I consider it safety too, because you kind of loop that in with automatic braking. And then what's really nice about these Palisades too is they have cameras on either mirror. So if you put on your right directional, that pops up, And then left directional, we can see that Nissan in our blind spot there. So it's really nice to have. You know, I feel like the digital screens, although I'm not a huge fan of them, they do provide that added functionality, so it's nice to have that. And then we do have many drive modes. We're currently in comfort. We can wow, that person ran the red light pretty bad. Always be careful, folks. You know, just look both ways before you start driving, even if it's a green light. But yeah, so let's switch it into sport mode here. As you can see, we have a little bit difference in our gauge cluster. It turns red, which is kind of cool. We do have paddle shifters mounted to the steering wheel. They're a little unresponsive, like it takes a bit for a downshift to actually complete. But I mean, you're not really going to be using these much in the Palisade anyways. I feel like they just kind of threw them in because this is the steering wheel you get, and really basically, you know, if they take the paddle shifters off of the steering wheel, it probably would be more money to manufacture it that way. It'd be harder to mass produce them. So they just kind of keep them on, and they sell it as like an added functionality, which is true, it is. And it's actually the only way to control gears in this car, because you don't have a traditional, you know, shift lever. You have buttons. You have a button for park, you have a button for reverse, neutral, and drive. Another manufacturer that does this is Honda, which, you know, we reviewed the 2025 Honda Odyssey, which is kind of a competitor of this car, even though it's a minivan. You know, you think 8-seater, and this one's a 7-seater. You know, I would say that there are competitors, and in that case, you can expect the same shift lever setup. So back to comfort for our drive modes. I think that is my preferred drive mode, to be honest. It's just a lot more steady in terms of like the transmission's not holding onto gears a little longer than it should. You get better fuel economy, which, you know, this Palisade's a big SUV. It's rated for 21 miles per gallon combined, so you want to try to be as fuel economic as possible, which is going to be fairly difficult in an SUV of this size. Regarding exterior impressions, I'm not the hugest fan of the front end. I feel like these headlights are a little weird, but the side profile of this SUV is nice. These, you know, gorgeous alloy wheels. We of course have, you know, this pretty gray color, which I think pairs really well with those wheels especially. And then the rear end is just whatever. I don't think it's bad looking. I don't think it's particularly good looking either. But when I see these on the road, so I'm like, oh yeah, I could see myself buying one of these if I had a bunch of kids. And then as far as the interior is really where the Palisade sets itself apart. I mean, we have a leather-wrapped steering wheel. We have tons of nice materials in here. Physical buttons for basically every functionality, which is great, especially because, you know, the more modern you get with cars, the more they're just stuffing into the screens, which is unfortunate. But the most impressive thing in here is these gorgeous leather seats with heated and cooled functionalities, and that same kind of like diamond shaped pattern, I don't even know what you would call that, is also on the door cards, really providing a nice look to this interior. And there's just no gloss black anywhere other than up here by our infotainment screen, so well, it's out of reach of your hands for the most part. You're not really going to be touching that for any reason. I'd say if they put it down here, it would be incredibly dirty and scratched up after 83,000 miles. But they chose this very durable aluminum material, and I think it's just great. This overall is just a very nice infotainment stack, and doesn't take much away from legroom too. I mean, this is a very spacious SUV. You know, say what you want about Hyundai, but they've been making some great cars, and this Palisade was really the start of it in 2020. You know, at the time they had kind of just released the new Sonata, the Palisade was new, and then, you know, of course the Tucson got some upgrades as well, and my very own Elantra N-Line was released for the 2021 model year, and that was just a fantastic car. And, you know, I've driven some of the other Hyundai products, and I haven't been too impressed with them. Like, the Kona was nice because early on they had Apple CarPlay for it, but other than that, it was kind of a pain to drive, like the CVT and the and that 4-cylinder really kind of had to work its butt off to produce any sort of power. And, you know, it was very unrefined, but given, you know, you're kind of at that lower $20,000 price point, brand new at the time. But so with these Palisades, you know, $45,000, really under $50,000 is really such a nice place to be for these 3-row SUVs. And I just feel like you get tons of materials, features, and amenities inside this car. A competitor of this car that I've been in recently, though, was the Honda Pilot. My in-laws actually have a Honda Pilot. I believe theirs is a 2021, so just a year newer than this Palisade. And I would say that I would prefer this Palisade. The steering is a lot better in this. Of course, the Pilot is just a little too loose for my liking. I would say Honda still has the edge in terms of long-term reliability, but these Hyundais are great to own within that 100,000 mile warranty, which covers your powertrain. After that, who knows? I mean, my Elantra started really having issues around this, you know, 80K mile mark. So, but I mean, this Palisade really rides quite nice. Engine's really smooth. Of course, naturally aspirated V6 adds some simplicity. You know, you're not having to deal with wondering when the turbo's gonna go out. Of course, we also don't have a CVT transmission in here, so, you know, there is some, this is a formula that would kind of lean towards long-term reliability in my mind. And so how I mentioned before that we've been getting a lot of snow up here, we do have a snow drive mode, which is great. I've never really used one, to be honest. None of my cars have ever been equipped with it, but we have Comfort, Eco, Snow, Smart, and Sport. And of course we have a differential lock too, which I think the only time I would really think to use that is when you're going off-roading, right? But, you know, I don't really see a use case for it on pavement. But as far as Smart Mode, I do want to talk about that. How Smart Mode works in Hyundai products is basically it adjusts your drive mode to how you're currently driving. The one problem I have with it is in most cases when you're just kind of like stuck behind other cars and you're going the speed limit and you're not really, you know, you're just kind of cruising along and you're not on the throttle much, it's just going to put you in Eco. And Smart Mode is incredibly difficult to get out of Eco mode. It'll basically either put you in Eco mode if you're driving 95% of the time, like just kind of normal. And then if you try to get it into even normal mode, you're going to end up in Sport mode because you're driving like an absolute maniac to even get it out of Eco. It's really weird. I don't particularly use Smart Mode. There are people I've seen on the forums that do use it, so I guess, you know, some people like it. I think that any drive mode is fine. Of course, you know, don't use snow when there's no snow on the ground. But in terms of like Sport, Comfort, and Smart Mode, just don't use Sport Mode in stop and go traffic. It'll hold on to first gear a little too long and make you kind of lunge forward when you press the accelerator pedal. So just try to, you know, stay out of Sport Mode when you are in stop and go traffic. Other than that, you know, drive how you want. With that being said, I was really curious to get inside this Hyundai Palisade because I did briefly check one out with my in-laws when they were car shopping, and we were just kind of down killing some time at a Hyundai dealership, and it was really impressive. And so I've always wanted to drive one ever since that day, and really it's held up to my expectations. It's incredibly smooth. I do wish it was a little more softly sprung. Some of those harsh bumps on the worst road in Merrimack, New Hampshire were a little too jarring for me. But I think in terms of ride quality, sound deadening, features, this thing really just has it all. And, you know, getting this car at $23,500 thanks to First International Auto Group out of Merrimack, New Hampshire, if you were to come buy this one from their dealership with 83,000 miles on it, I think you're getting an absolute deal. So with that being said, if you enjoyed today's video, don't forget to leave it a like, leave a comment below, and let me know if you guys have any questions. With that being said, we're in the dead of winter here, so trying to do my best to keep going with the car content, but you know, some weekends we just get snow and I can't get out and film, unfortunately. But with that being said, thank you all for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.